Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you are doing well and staying safe. My name is Aaliyah Twite, and I am the Education Outreach Coordinator at your local PBS station, WTCI. And I just want to start off by saying first, I know that this is an incredibly overwhelming time as we are trying to navigate what going back to school looks like, what at-home learning looks like. And I know that you are probably receiving a lot of different resources and a lot of new information every single day, and that can be quite stressful. So I just want to start off by saying that everything in this presentation that we're about to go through is completely optional. I am a huge fan of the ideology that if it serves you, that's great. Go ahead and integrate that. But if it is a source of stress and it is not something you need, then no worries. But we just wanted to make you aware of some of the work that PBS has been doing to provide some free at-home learning resources that you can use to supplement some of the lesson plans that you might be getting, or just have some fun, engaging activities that you can do with your student. Again, everything from PBS is standards aligned and is a trusted education resource, so it might be a little bit easier to navigate some of those resources and know that your student will be receiving some learning objectives from the activities they are doing. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I know that this is a lot, and we are here to support you in any way we can, and we see you, and we will get through this. Right. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. So first, for a very brief introduction, I know many of you are probably familiar with PBS in the context of a television station, right? So some of you might have little ones who watch Daniel Tiger or some of our other PBS Kids content. You yourself may like Nova or Nature or Downton Abbey or Greater Chattanooga. But for as long as PBS has been here, and certainly WTCI for the last 50 years, we have been a trusted and education partner in providing engaging content for all grade levels, for all ages, and in resources in many different formats. So during the spring and summer for COVID-19, we partnered with local school districts, educators, and organizations, and even community members like many of you who might be on this call, to curate PBS content for at-home learning. So the way we did that was through an on-air broadcast. We made sure that our programming was standards aligned for pre-K through 12 curriculum, as well as creating some dedicated web pages that you can see below that are still live and available with at-home learning resources. So what direction are we going in now for this 2021 school year? There are three main ways and three main resources that I wanted to share with you today around what PBS is offering. The first two are actually connected, and that second link to PBS Learning Media, you can actually find it in that first Google Drive link, so we're going to mostly focus on that link today. And you might have seen this link, a teacher or an educator might have shared this with you. You might have seen this on your local school district website. But if not, I will show you a place where you can find it at the end of this presentation so you can make sure to have access to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the resources we have available. So as I said, PBS is a wonderful education partner with an incredible amount of resources available in a variety of different formats. So while it can be a little bit overwhelming to navigate, it is also kind of exciting because there are a lot of different things that you can engage with depending on your learning style and what you're interested in. And so for this at-home learning materials that we provided, we are taking most of this from sort of the education hub that we have at PBS called PBS Learning Media. And I'll take you through that. And the two main ways that we are sharing resources are through printable activities that educators or families or organizations are free to print out and use. This can be particularly helpful for students who do not have access to digital technology or who might be learning at home right now and are getting learning packages. These can be printed and distributed and for those families, for families. And the other section that we have are the digital activities. So first, let's just go ahead and take a look at navigating this folder of printable resources. So as you can see, this folder is split off into different grade cohorts and for activities in Spanish. Everything that we have provided for you has a Spanish option. including the digital resources. As you can see down here, we have a dedicated area for Spanish-speaking families. But first, let's take a look at some of these folders. So what you'll see is we have separated everything out by grade. And what we've done here is we've gone through the PBS Learning Media Hub. Again, gone through all those videos, gone through all those documents, gone through all those websites. And we're really trying to make an easy to navigate way to find resources that you are looking for that can suit the subject and the area and the grade level for your student. So let's go ahead and take a look at elementary. This is an example. All of the folders will look really similar to this. And when you're in here, you can see that we have further split it out by grade. So let's say you have a second grader. Go ahead and click in there. And once you get into that area, you will see that we have further split it off into subject area. So now what you are seeing here is just everything that we could find that we think would be interesting and also is standards aligned to Tennessee State teaching standards around what second graders in these different subject areas would be learning at school this year. We also have included some fun activities that again are still standards aligned to curriculum such as crafts and baking and recipes. But for the most part, you will see that these are subject out into areas that are pretty familiar, like reading, math, and science. So let's go ahead and say that you have a second grader and you're working on some science or interested in science and are looking for an activity to do maybe over the weekend or to help with a classroom assignment. You would go ahead and click, and when you get inside the folder, you will see that we have put in PDFs and Word documents to instructions for a variety of different activities that you can do at home. So again, you are welcome to print these, or again, if you're an educator, you can print these and put them in learning packets. But let's say that you are learning about animal senses. Just for an example, you could click on this, and this would be an example of a printout you could find. So again, this is from the show, PBS show Nature, and this is a discussion and an activity guide of how animals use senses in the wild, and then they give you a little activity you can do with some at-home objects. That is pretty fun for all ages, not even if you're just a second grader. That can be really fun for families too. Okay, so we've kind of gone over how to look at some of these standard aligned printable resources. So what about digital? So as I mentioned before, we have created these digital one-pagers that will link to this second website here, the PBS Learning Media. So here you'll see again, we've got it separated out similarly like we do above into pre-K, elementary, middle, high. We've also got one in Spanish, and for educators and families, this can be an additional resource that can be useful. These are very bite-sized, small, under 5-minute videos about how you can further use the website I'm about to show you, how to create an account, how to get details about how to integrate it with Google Classrooms, how to find things with different content standards. And so these are just short videos that you can watch that can sort of further give you more information and a deep dive into the website we're about to take a look at. But if you are a family member and you're looking at some of these resources, we have filtered everything for you in this format. So let's go ahead and take a look at, for example, middle school. Let's take a look at that. So when you open up your grade cohort for your student, you will see a page that looks like this. So this page is a link page that will take you to the website PBS Learning Media based on the type of resource that you're looking for. So again, at the top here, this is just a little, I guess, subject area where you can find the printable resources I just showed you here. You can find my contact information, which we'll go over at the end. And you can find a help page for PBS Learning Media resources. Additionally, if you're a teacher, you can also find the page where you can browse by the academic standard code. But let's go ahead and take a look at what this might look like in practice. So let's say you have a student, again, we're in the middle school section right now, and you're really interested in watching videos. So all of these are different types of resources that are available. As you can see, we have things from documents, interactive pages and games, lesson plans, audio, images, web pages, but let's say you're interested in videos. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and click that, and it will redirect you to the PBS Learning Media page. So again, as I mentioned, PBS Learning Media is sort of our hub, our one-stop shop for all things related to all the content we provide. Up at the top bar, you can see that if you're wanting to take a look through this website, you can browse through subject areas, for all different grades. You can also browse by grade level, which is what we're doing right now, and you can find a lot of different resources available. You can also search here up at the top bar. You do not need an account to access this website. However, if you do want to make an account, it is free. It can make it a little bit easier if you sign up with your local station to find things that are Tennessee specific or Alabama specific or wherever you're listening from today. But again, you do not need an account. You should be able to access this link from the one pager in the folder. So again, we were in the middle school section. So we clicked on middle school, we clicked on videos, and as you can see, it has taken us to a section where we have a whole list of videos here that are available to watch. At the bottom, you can see what grade level the video is for. And there's a lot here, right? So this can still be a little bit overwhelming. As you can see, there's over 10,000 videos available to watch for middle schoolers. So to further filter these results, what you can do at this point is go ahead and select the subject you're most interested in learning about. So again, if you have a middle schooler, let's say they're interested in science, you already have videos available. You just have to click the subject, and suddenly we've got all of these awesome videos about a variety of different subjects in science that were curated and created for the age range of middle school. So let's go ahead and click on a resource so you can kind of get a sense of what you'll see when you do that. And again, this is just a video, but as I mentioned, we've got a lot of different resources like games and interactives and lesson plans. But whatever you click on, this format will be the same. So you'll see a title of the resource. You'll see the type of format it's in. You'll see what grade levels it's for. And at the bottom, you'll get a little bit of a description of what you're about to see. If you are an educator, you can see some discussion questions if this is a video that you want to use in your class. Sometimes they also have, under support materials, things for families to use as well. And finally, what you can see is standards. So again, as I said, you do not have to have an account, and if you decide to get a free account, it can just be helpful in that when you're looking at the standards section here, it will automatically show you the Tennessee standards that you're learning about. So as we can see, one of the standards is that we are learning about photosynthesis as a middle schooler in this video. So that can be really, really helpful. And again, everything on this website is standards aligned. So you know that what you're showing your student or engaging with your student will be curriculum based. I also briefly, while we're on this webpage, again, when you go back to these one-pagers, it will take you to all these different types of activities. So again, if we clicked on interactive lessons again, whether it's for middle school, preschool, high school, it'll take you to a similar page where, again, we're in the middle school section, but you can see that this filter has changed to show interactive lessons, and then you can go in and choose your subject. What I also quickly wanted to show you is the search bar, because this can be a really helpful thing, particularly for finding, if you're interested in doing a deeper dive and learning more and finding more resources, this can be a really helpful thing. So on the sidebar again, you can see, let's go ahead and just put in, we're interested in learning about trees. As you can see, we have all the resources that come up from all the subject areas, all the grade levels that have to do with trees. So if we're going to further filter that, let's go ahead and say that we want to learn about trees, and we're looking for something for third grade specifically. So now there's a lot less resources available. So we've already got that down to 132. So these are 132 resources available for third graders about trees. Let's say that we want it to be science specific. You can go ahead and click that. And we can see that we have further narrowed down those resources. You also can see here, you can filter it out again, as we did in some of those interactive pages we provided you by type. And further, you can filter it out by language and accessibility. So this can be really helpful specifically, you know, for Spanish speaking families. You can see that we have 11 third grade resources in science about trees in Spanish. So this can be a really, really helpful way of finding further resources for your family. But if all of that, again, is that's all kind of optional, we have already created a space where you have a lot of filtered options already in place, and you can just use these pages here as I showed you to kind of navigate those areas. Okay, so the last resource, and I won't take too much time on this because this is a lot easier to navigate, but this is PBS Kids. This is something that your student, particularly pre-K through elementary, can navigate and find games and videos and printable activities, more specific around content and learning content and PBS Kids shows. So if we click on games here, and again, I won't go too deeply into this, you'll be able to find games that are aligned by subject area, available for desktop or browser. And if we go back and take a look at videos, if you do not have access to the broadcast for the kids channel, you can find content here on the live TV stream. You can, again, stream this on your desktop, or you can stream this on your mobile device. And you also can stream any shows here that you see on the browser. So let's say you're interested in watching Molly of Denali. What will happen is Molly of Denali and all the school things that you see, for some reason it's showing Daniel Tiger, but it's probably just loading. You will see the show that's being viewed. You will see what goals are showed, so you'll kind of get the standard, and you'll also get the age range for that show. So again, we clicked on Molly of Denali, but it's showing a sponsorship, so it'll probably update in a second, and we can see what Molly of Denali is all about. There we go. Oh, no, it's supposed to say no tired. Well, that's okay. It will update. It's probably an internet issue, and thank you for being patient with me. But anyway, you'll be able to see what the show is about up here. All right, so I know that was a very brief overview with a lot of information. So if you have any questions for me or even feedback, please feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Aaliyah Twite, and you can see my email address below. In addition to any questions about how to navigate these resources or what you can find, I really want to emphasize that we are in the process of recreating our education department, and you are at the center of all we do. So I would love to, particularly when COVID is a little bit more in control, and certainly during this process, I have every intent of holding focus groups, of getting to know you, of working with you, and making this as participatory as possible. I want to prioritize your needs and your support, and have this authored by you. So if these resources are helpful, or you have any feedback on some things that you'd like to see, please get in contact with me. Again, if you just want another deep dive into some of these resources, you can feel free to email me. You can check out our website at the wtcitv.org/education. This website is in the process of being updated to include that Google Drive link I showed you. So we are updating that now, but so you might not see that link today, but in a few days you will see it, and you'll be able to access everything we went over today. So this can kind of be your one-stop shop area of finding everything we just went over, from the digital activities on the sidebar to the printable resources to links to other incredible PBS resources. So this website will be for that. So you can check back in a few days and you'll be able to find those. And finally, you can check on updates on our Facebook page. We are constantly posting updates to our learning curriculum, to our broadcast curriculum, and you can find some activities there as well. So again, I hope you are doing well. I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you some options for some things you can do with your family when you're looking for some activities. And again, please feel free to contact me at any time. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good rest of your day.